and welcome to day one official of Vlogmas. It is December 1st, it is a Monday, and I have to leave for work in approximately 10 minutes. But I thought I would show you the progress that I've made on my Advent projects this morning. I've been up for a wee while. It's about like 10:15. I've been up since like 6:30 so that I could get ready and have some breakfast and get started on my Vlogmas Advent projects. So here we are. This is Graham, for anyone who has not met Graham. She usually likes to just sleep in a secluded spot, but clearly right now wants to be very close, so we're going to do with that what we can. Right, I have 4 projects to show you that I kind of have on the go. First project is an Advent project. It's very exciting, you would not believe. It is just a cast on. So this is the Advent calendar from We County Yarns. Spoiler, if you're doing the We County Yarns JC Rennie 4-ply Advent calendar in the colour natural. Just probably not that many of you, but if any of you are, stop watching. This is day 1. It is a colour called Antler, I believe. No, it's not. It's called Tusk. Same thing, but not quite. And the instructions for day 1 are to cast on your stitches onto a 3.25mm needle. So that is what I've done. Graham is about to start eating some paper. Please don't eat paper. Thank you. Wait, in fact, the ball band. So the concept for this is that you have a background colour. She also wanted to eat the packaging. Actually, it's quite useful. As was displayed, I was like, oh no, they're all in totally different orders. How am I going to cope to put these in the calendar? But actually, it was just all of the background colours were in order, and then all of the foreground colours were in order. So the odd days are your background colours, and your even days are your foreground colours. So I've now put them into my Advent calendar so I know where they are. The concept is that you knit with 2 colours at a time, because it's stranded colour work, and then each one is for 2 consecutive days. So colour 1 I will use today to cast on, and that's the background colour for tomorrow, but then the background colour will change to colour 3, but I'll keep using 2 as the foreground colour, and then on day 4 I'll keep using 3 as the background colour and use 4 as the foreground colour. Such is how it will go. So that's project number 1, cast on. Not put this in a place where Graham is tempted to eat it. The rest of my projects are all socks. I have my socks that were already on the go from November. I have my woolens and nosh Advent socks, and I have some Christmas socks that I started last year, did 1 sock, and now I'm going to try and do the 2nd sock. So I'll start with this one because it's the closest. This is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply sock in a colour that I cannot remember. I think it's called Candy Cane or something. That would make sense given that it looks like this. And I've finished 1 singular sock in, excellent news for me is that it's the DRK everyday sock, because I was hoping it would be that sock pattern because it's my favourite one. So great. This is the first time I'm looking at this. I just took it out the bag, if that's not obvious. It's very tall. Don't know why I did it quite so tall, but I'm going to replicate this sock. It looks like I did it on a 2.25mm needle. I took the needles out, which fair enough because I needed to use them, but that's usually what I do socks on. So I need to cast on the 2nd one. I thought I had already cast on the 2nd one, but I guess not. So that is kind of a background project for when I have time. And here it goes. Other background project, which is currently using my 2.25mm needles, is this sock, the start of a sock. Also a DRK everyday sock, current fave sock pattern. Here's the completed first sock. This is some hand-dyed yarn from a company that I cannot remember what it's called, but I got it at Greenbelt Festival, but I will put it down below. So first sock is complete. Second sock, I'm nearly done with the kind of heel increases, then I just need to turn the heel and do a little bit more. So that's background knitting, and also a stitch marker that's fallen off. So I'm hoping that will be finished soon. I wonder about finishing this and then it will free up my needles. I've got other 2.25mm needles, but only one pair of Chaogu ones, and they are my favourite. So I might prioritise this before I cast on the Christmas sock. There's a theme. Next project is another pair of DRK everyday socks. If I go off these socks, if I stop enjoying wearing these socks, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble because I have lots of them. Actually, that's not true. I currently have, I don't think any that are in rotation that don't need darning. I've got a big pile of darning just right here that I really need to start doing because I'm running out of tights that don't have holes in them. I love a woolen tight, but all my woolen tights have holes in them, so I need to fix that. And also all of my favorite socks have holes in them, so I need to fix those as well. So instead of fixing the holes in the socks that I already have, I'm knitting entire new pairs of socks, which makes total sense. So spoilers for the Woolens and Nosh Advent sock. I barely got into the colour bit, but I finished the toes last night and I've just started with the first colour. So this is where we're at. Got a little robin stitch marker on it here. Apologies, I don't have a camera that autofocuses, so you're just gonna have to imagine what that looks like. They feel large. I followed the size that I usually follow, but I feel like this yarn is quite plump compared to, for compare and contrast, you can look at this sock that I've just finished. In terms of that's how big the like toe box is compared to this one. Like it just, it's a little bit bigger. So part of me wonders about pulling it back and doing it either a smaller size or on a smaller needle size, but also I've started now, so I don't know if I can be bothered. So I'm going to do a little bit and then try it on. That's the great thing with the toe up, and then if I need to start again I will, because I want them to be socks that I will want to wear more than I want to not rip back. So this is what we have. The day one colour for me, because I know sometimes it's different for different people's, but for me it's this lovely blue. The theme is not on the bag, but I think the theme is Portland. So I guess this is part of the Portland nature, a colour that exists there. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I am off to work in 5 minutes, so I have to go. But after work I have knit night, which I may or may not go to depending on how tired I'm feeling, but I think I'm going to bring just my sock that is already on the go so that I can keep working on that and free up my needles, because if I were to bring this would probably be about 30 minutes of knitting and then I would have finished the colour, so there's no point bringing that. So I'm gonna leave this at home and mull over the situation there. There also, I don't know if I've talked about how the bag is presented, that you've got this bag. Nope. You have the bag like so, and it's clipped shut, and it came with the two, they were brown, so it was like the tip of the colour poking out the sides, so it's all shut so that you can't see inside and can't get spoiled, which I enjoy very much. But it does mean that the sock doesn't really have anywhere to go, because if I were to put it in the project bag I would spoil myself for the colours, which is fine, but I think this is more of a home project. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna go to work, and I will speak to you later. 6:23 and I am at home. I did not go to knit night. It was not a super tiring day, but I just didn't feel great. And I think sometimes after I've had like a full day of being in a space with lots of people and doing a lot of talking, which like I do enjoy, but I feel like I need a little bit of quiet and a little bit of space where I know that no one is going to be looking at me. Other than then I go and film myself, but that's different. You are welcome here. So I came home. It is absolutely pouring with rain. Like I put my earphones on, my like big over ear, and then my rain hood, which did make me feel a little bit silly, and to be totally honest with you, it hurt a little bit. It was a little bit painful. But I really wanted to listen to my audiobook, and also it's like a 30-minute walk home, so I needed something to distract me from the fact that it was pouring with rain. So I was listening to The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop, and I really enjoyed it. It was really good. So it was written by the person who played Emily Gilmore, who's like the grandmother on Gilmore Girls. And I got it from my library, so I got it on Libby. I'd had the wait for ages, but it just came up. So I've been listening to it over the past 3 days. It's the sort of book where I think if I was reading it for a long time, I would get frustrated with it because it's quite repetitive, and it's a lot of like, here's something I did. Here's something else I did. Here's another thing that I did. But she's doing quite interesting things, so it's, yeah, definitely worth a read if you'd like Gilmore Girls, but be warned, I'd say there's little to none Gilmore Girls gossip in the book. It's like mostly just about her life, which is like interesting. But yeah, so I finished that and was continuing listening to my other audiobook that I've been listening to, which is called Season of Love, which I listened to last Christmas, and as well as the 2 sequels to it. But I just enjoyed it so much, so I'm listening to it again. That's one that I don't think is available on Libby, or at least it's not available on my Libby. Edinburgh Libraries, get your act together. But I bought it on like Apple Books, because that was the place that I could find it, so I've been listening to it there. Yeah, so that was my walk back. Now I have a lasagna in the oven. My lovely friend brought me a little supply of food when I got back from my trip on Thursday, and I'm still working my way through it. So I have a lasagna in the oven, and I'm gonna have it with some kale, and I have some olives that I've been eating as a little pre-dinner situation. I'm also knitting on my woolens and nosh socks, which I really do feel are going to be too big. Like they're just, I'm going to bring my foot up to show you, but I'm not going to do that. But they are just quite large. So I am wondering about going down to a 2mm needle, and then maybe going down a size as well, because I want them to be socks that I can wear, not just like comfy socks around the house. Like I want them to be able to wear them as daytime socks. So I really don't want to have to redo them, because I want to be able to knit every day as it comes, and it did take me pretty much all of last night to knit the 2 toes, like at least 3 hours. 2 hours? Maybe 2 hours if I'd been super focused, but obviously I kept checking my phone to do things like that. So am I going to keep knitting a little bit more to see if I can make it work? Probably yes. So I'll report back on that. I also did absolutely no knitting on my other sock or at all, which is fair because I've been at work. So this is what I've done. And yeah, I have some vlogmasses lined up to watch, which is very exciting. I've got the Nitty Natty Vlogmas, the Knit 365 Vlogmas, the M to the 3rd Vlogmas. Those are my main 3. Those have been my main 3 for the last like 5 years. Those are the people who I like to watch. So that is on my to-do list, and I have now been talking for nearly 6 minutes. So I'm gonna go, and I will probably not catch you later because I'm gonna have a cozy evening. So I will see you tomorrow, which is a day off, which I'm looking forward to. I'm getting my nails done. I have them with little gels, so I'm getting new. Sorry if you've been getting a lot of hair noise. I'm getting, I don't know what colour I'm gonna get. Probably red. I always just get a different sort of red. And then I don't have any plans for the rest of the day. So lots of knitting time. Also lots of admin jobs that I have to do time for, but such is life. So I will see you tomorrow for whatever it may hold.